policy. Once again, there is no re-entry policy as posted at the entrance.
Flying in from the backside here. Well, check that. Not Caden Everett. That's number 4, Kip Biggs Jr. laying the wood.
How about Brody Orton on that block of pancake?
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought we did those at brunch. We do them all day.
They do them all day. And the physicality in this game, we knew this was going to be a physical football game, and it has already lived up to it.
Sets up 3rd and short. Inside handoff. Michael Brown.
He didn't get there.
And he's ruled a yard short. Murphy has a tendency to go for it on 4th down. That's in their DNA, but this is a tough spot early in the first quarter.
You're backed up at your own 30. It's a 4th and 1. Like, this is a confidence call right here by Coach Watson. He's going to keep the offense on the field.
Coach Watson, who played at Murphy under legendary coach David Gentry, he's trusting his offense here on 4th down.
They may try to get up the middle with the A back here.
Tarboro low in the box on 4th down. And that will end the first quarter here in Hickory. 3 early drives, couple of stops defensively have told the story of this 2A title. When we come back, big 4th down decision for Murphy. You're watching the North Carolina High School Athletic Association State Championships presented by Affordable Dentures and Implants. When we come back, second quarter action here in Hickory.
Belief isn't just a feeling, it's a force. A force that turns underdogs into champions, struggle into strength, and concepts into companies. A Legacy and Wake Forest University are proud to partner because we share a truth that belief in people yields the highest returns. Together, we're investing in every dream, every goal, every tomorrow. This is our home. Let's believe.
Welcome back to the North Carolina High School Athletic Association State Championship. This broadcast brought to you by Affordable Dentures and Implants. Defensive battle in the 2A title. Murphy on the field here on 4th down on their own end of the field. And Coach Watson trusting his offense out of this timeout.
Yeah, you're at your own 30-yard line. This is a big spot. Got to have a ton of confidence. I wouldn't be surprised to see Michael Brown, the A-back, end up with this football number 23.
Officials resetting the play clock. And now we're ready to go in this second quarter. So a big decision for Brody Grant here on 4th down. And that's enough for the first down. Nice decision, pushing up the middle.
Yeah, I like that. Real simple. Just have your quarterback find where the bubble is in the defense and attack it. And he sees a little bit of a crease off to his right.
Well, and that's what cost the Bills a trip to the Super Bowl last year. Josh Allen ran through the same gap every time, and the Chiefs picked up on it.
Absolutely. It didn't matter in the Super Bowl for the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Eagles had other intentions. Nice run outside, but tripping. And no gain on first down. This Tarboro defense, when you face a similar offense every day in practice, it looks like these defenses are ready to go.
Yeah, they really are. They understand what's happening in front of them. But I think even in certain situations with Tarboro, particularly in their back seven, they've got so much speed. Even if they take a false step or make a little bit of a misread, the speed makes up for it on a consistent basis.
Murphy's played behind the chains a ton today, and they've won 10 straight, largely due to their offense. Grant out of the pocket. Brody's got a wide open man. Good catch. And Ryan Payne out near midfield. That tip-top roofing first down. Payne's able to get 15, and now an injured man down for Tarboro.
I love how they keep moving the pocket. Watch him, and then he steps up. Nice throw over the top of the flat defender and underneath the safety, and they're able to pick up a first down. And now an injured Viking down on the field. That looks like Kip Biggs Jr., number 4.
Yeah, and he's really down right now. The Tarboro staff coming out just a minute into the second quarter. We have seen with Murphy, these third down conversions continue to play a factor. 3 of them in the first half.
Yeah, they've done a nice job on third downs and obviously 4th and short, which we saw right here at the start of this quarter. On that 4th and 1 down at their own 30-yard line, they're able to pick up that first down and make a nice play there. So this offense, again, confident so far in this ballgame.
We're going to take a quick timeout and come back for the rest of the second quarter.
Life can be tough. The daily grind, the pressures, the uncertainties, it all adds up. Let's be open and honest about our mental health. Let's support each other when we're hurting, because it's okay not to be okay.
Tonight's high-end zone views of the game are compliments of First Source Equipment Rentals and Sales in Mebane and Burlington. First Source Rentals, reliable, safe equipment rentals in Alamance County.
Welcome back to Hickory, North Carolina, here at Lenoir-Rhyne, checking in on Kip Biggs Jr., the injured senior defensive back, who's been down since we went to break. The Tarboro staff now coming together. 9 straight trips to a state final for Tarboro. A lot of tradition. And a good defensive battle early here as Biggs continues to get treated. And I think the look on his face tells a lot of this story. A lot of emotion getting to this point. Tarboro, who beat a 5A finalist in Hunt, beat Kinston, who just made the 3A final today. It was a rigorous conference schedule. And Tarboro's found a way to not only win out, but on the verge of back-to-back consecutive winning seasons, championships.
Tarboro's a 2A program that plays in a conference that is all 3A teams except them. And so they've been battle-tested throughout the season, dealt with, obviously some, I guess you would call it, potential body disadvantages in terms of the amount of numbers, which is obviously a factor in these classifications, and they've stood up to every single test.
And now more of the Tarboro players coming over to check on Kip. In the playoffs, they've been dorm-storming opponents, outscoring 193-19 in the playoffs. That is some impressive numbers. But hopefully Kip will be okay. He's getting help with more of this training staff coming over.
This is a Tarboro defense getting back to that point. Listen to this, Evan. Kinston scored 35 points on October 31st against Tarboro. Nobody else has scored 20 or more points against this defense. That is dominant. And now they'll bring a card out for Biggs.
We send our thoughts to Kip Biggs and his family, as Kip will be treated by the training staff here in the locker room. Good special teams player, starter at the safety position.
And unfortunately for the senior, this is already going to be his last game, and that's probably part of some of the emotion we see and saw from him, is the fact that, you know, in his last game, this is what's happened to him. So I'm sure that adds to some of the emotion and frustration.
We're going to take one more break and check on Kip Biggs and then come back to continue this second quarter. Tarboro and Murphy in a scoreless game here in the 2A state championship. Welcome back to Hickory. Checking on Kip Biggs Jr., the senior do-it-all specialist, ending his high school career, unfortunately, with an injury. And you see his teammates rallying around him, hoping the best for Biggs as he gets evaluated. This can be emotional moments, right? And a lot of kids work so hard to get to the state championship, and then an injury will derail his final game. But our thoughts go out to Biggs and his family.
Well, as a player, you go out there and the last thing you think about is an injury. And it's one thing to see a guy maybe roll an ankle or, you know, something like that. But when you see something that involves a cart or a stretcher, it can be disjointing for you mentally for a while. And so it's going to be very difficult potentially for these players to respond to this, at least for the first couple of minutes.
So out of the timeout, first down for Murphy, and the run game with Clem gets going. Clem is eating up bodies, and then the football comes loose. Who's got it?
The Tarboro sideline reacted initially to the ball coming out, and then the demeanor changed. So I think they noticed that Murphy got the football back.
And that was Ryan Payne who jumped on top of it somehow.
It's a big recovery by Payne there.
10 turnovers this year for Murphy. They've had some fumble issues, facing a Tarboro defense that forces 27 turnovers. That's a strength of the Vikings. Grant to throw it. Now he's got to run. Grant out of the pocket is tackled by his fellow quarterback. That's Tyler Powell.
Yeah, that's a great job picking up the first down. He outruns Tyler Powell, who now helps him fix his shoulder pad. Well, different player is number 59.
Yeah, look at that
fix his shoulder
teamwork
pads.
there for
Emmanuel DeBerry, but
I love that.
That's a great job using his legs that time by Brady Grant to pick up this first down. Watch Powell. You see Powell giving pursuit. He's picking up ground, but Grant got just enough to pick up that first down. That's nice job by Grant, using his legs to extend this drive.
Beating Powell, the 2A Defensive Player of the Year in his conference. So Grant on first down. Clem jukes a defender who was going the other direction. Nice gain of 8 on first down.
How about this Murphy offense doing a great job with the different types of runs inside, getting to the edge, doing a nice job mixing up the play calls to pick up yardage. This time, little misdirection look.
You see that linebacker just blitzing in? They
Absolutely.
Didn't even see it coming.
Didn't even see it coming. They just get right up underneath.
The creativity of Joseph Watson's offense. He played for this Murphy program. Knows a thing or two about the wing T. And now a flag.
And a fortunate flag for Murphy, because there was a little bit of a snap issue.
Encroachment on the offense. Nonetheless, a 5-yard penalty for Murphy, and that's what Joseph Watson's saying.
I guess that'd be a false start.
Nonetheless, it backs up the drive, 2nd and 7. Sets up a 2nd and long. Going inside with Michael Brown. And Brown is just short of the sticks by 2 yards. So coming up, we'll have our Foundation Solutions halftime report. Interview with Q Tucker, the commissioner of the association. First half highlights and more on the Foundation Solutions halftime report, which right now is a bunch of defensive highlights and big 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, big 3rd down conversions. But to your point, defenses that bow up in the back end, and they get down inside their 30-yard line, these defenses have both started to step up.
Leads to a 3rd and 2. There's a 4th 3rd down conversion of the game, and Cam Klent barrels to the 30-yard line. Tip Top Roofing 1st down. Faith Family Football Roofing, and this running game really impressive on 3rd down tonight.
Yeah, it really has been impressive. Really, every down, right? They've done a nice job. Now, have there been certain situations in which Tarboro made plays? Absolutely. But if you're Coach Watson right now, you got to feel really good about where your offense is. The only thing that has you maybe a little bit frustrated is the inability to finish drives with touchdowns.
Eating a ton of clock in this 2nd quarter. And that run's going nowhere. Look at the penetration from Tyler Powell.
Yeah, there were 2 guys trying to block Powell. Neither of them had success. Watch him here on the left side of your screen. See, he just splits Lappy and Clem. He splits both guys, gets up the field, and makes that play in the backfield.
And that's that wing T recognition. He beat the offensive guys to the spot.
Absolutely. Understanding that something's coming across into his face. He understands this offense and what they're trying to do, makes a play in the backfield.
Jeff Craddock noted, hey, our quarterback's a defensive end, but we need him on both sides of the ball. He's a difference maker. As Clem runs the other way, follows a couple of blocks, and gets that penalty yardage back. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Well, most importantly, it creates a 2-down situation here for Murphy on 3rd and 5. They'll likely look to run the football here, pick up as much as they can, but a 4th and 1, 4th and 2 situation, I would suspect they'd go for it here.
Klent lost his helmet on the previous play, so it'll be a change at running back. And all day long, Brady Grant, he's been effective on these 3rd downs. Those tight ends, Catuto and Davis, so big in this running game. They're in motion. And that running game's going nowhere. Loss of 1 for Michael Brown on the 4th down coming up.
Yeah, 4th down here, and just too much penetration. That's just way too much penetration. It starts with DeBerry, number 59. Gets up the field, reaches out and gets his hand on the ball carrier. And that was the beginning of the end for Murphy running the football there. But again, as I suspected, same distance, 5 yards. You're at the 25-yard line on the plus side of things. High red area. Go ahead and go for it.
2nd drive of this half. Murphy's gone for it on 4th down. The first unable to convert. And now a whistle and a timeout. Murphy's going to talk this over with 5:29 left in the half. And while we have a moment, the Affordable Dentures and Implants Player of the Game's coming up later tonight. Use your 2025 dental benefits now to get that smile you deserve. Visit affordabledentures.com for the practice near you. And we'll have the Legacy Federal Credit Union Play of the Game, a legacy in Wake Forest, we believe. Those fans are believing a little warmer weather as we tick down near the 30s tonight in Hickory. And these running games churning yards, but struggling in the red zone so far tonight.
First and foremost, you love to see that kind of a crowd make the trip over. About a 3-hour drive for either of these fan bases per se, and they made the trip. And so you got to love that. But I think right here, this could be a big spot for Cam Clem here on 4th down.
And for more on Clint, here's Hannah Brady.
Yeah, guys, Cameron Clem suffered an injury in week 4 of the season, missed a couple of weeks, and he came back with just a different mindset, more of a team-first mentality, just doing anything and everything he can to win and not take his time on the field for granted, and we're seeing that right here in the state championship game, guys.
Thank you, Hannah. Big 4th down coming up. Clinton, this running game, been efficient on 3rd down all day. Now a real 4th down test. This 4th and 6.
Yeah, they went for a 4th and 1 earlier and picked it up, backed up in their own end. Now this time in the high red area, a big 4th and 6 here.
New quarterback in on 4th down. Ryan Payne, keeper. Payne up the middle. He's stuffed. Good tackle by McDowell Moore and a turnover.
And went to a little bit of a wrinkle there. And Payne tried to make a play up the field. Just couldn't get fully going here up the field because McDowell Moore does a nice job. He and also number 24, Amarian Andrews, comes in there and makes a play as well.
So Cameron McDowell Moore, not just an elite offensive threat. He's made some big tackles in this 2nd quarter. And you start to wonder the way these teams run offense. A 5-minute drive could be right in Tarboro's territory to close the half.
Yeah, that being said, I would suspect we might see a heavy dose of Mr. McDowell Moore getting the football here on this next drive.
There's McDowell Moore right away. And he gets an easy 4 yards on 1st down. Jeff Craddock said sometimes we overcomplicate offense. When it's a big play, I'm giving the ball to number 2 and getting out of the way.
Why not, right? That's your best football player. You know he's going to be where he's supposed to be. You know that he can get more than maybe the play design and the defense that's defending it really should allow. He can always get you a little bit extra. Continue to give him opportunities to create big plays.
93 career rushing touchdowns for that senior tailback. He's going to Elon next year at the FCS level. And here's a 2nd and 5. Confusion in the backfield. This is going nowhere. Nice pursuit from Juke Pinkerton in this defensive line.
Evan, you're my guy. I'm going to disagree with you. No confusion there. Mr. Pinkerton created havoc. Watch him fly up the field. He's right there on the right-hand side of your screen. He takes 2 guys, 2 offensive linemen, drives them 3.5 yards into the backfield and makes that play. You're my guy. No confusion, just domination by Pinkerton.
I wish there was a half tackle you could hand out in football because Pinkerton blew up that play.
He really did. And look, that's one of the things we talk about in football all the time. You don't always have to make the tackle. Do you make the play? That time Pinkerton made the play, made it easy for everybody else.
Sets up 3rd and 11. Here's a pass. And this will take a lot for Phelan McNair. Just 3 yards that time. And all of a sudden, Murphy will get the ball back late in the 2nd quarter.
Well, and I think that's the other reason why Coach Watson went ahead and went for it, because of the way his defense is playing. He feels really good that they can make a couple of plays and keep this Tarboro offense really from getting going. That's another example right there. Throw it out in the flat, defense pursues, get off the field because it's 4th and long.
Here's the punt unit for Tarboro. Keep in mind, 15 games to get to this state title. Only 17 punts for Landon Browning all year. This is not a typical execution from special teams. But give credit to this Murphy defense. Final 3 minutes, pitching a shutout. And that punt was affected. And a fair catch here at the 45. That's where Murphy has it. So coming up, we'll have the Foundation Solutions halftime report. Interview with Q Tucker, the commissioner of the state. First half highlights and more on the Foundation Solutions halftime report.
Uncharted territory for both of these teams. Right now with the football, obviously Murphy, 38 points per game this season. They've scored 76 points in 4 games. I should say they scored 50 points 5 times this season. Nothing right now. And then Tarboro, a team that scored 40-plus points in 10 straight games, nothing right now. So these 2 defenses playing excellent football.
Good field position here for Murphy as Cam Clem follows the right side. And gets just one, maybe two on first down. There are no big holes for Clem in this run game.
Well, in that particular case, Tyler Powell got a hold of the football and tried to rip it out. So Cam Clem made the right decision. Hold on to the football and go down, because the only way you would stay up in that scenario is if you let the football go.
This has the feel of a game. One big turnover can make a huge factor. Two elite defenses. And now Brady Grant back in there on 2nd and long. Grant rolls out of the pocket. He's going deep through the hands of Ryan Payne. He had him with space.
Yeah, if he's able to complete that, Ryan Payne's working to the opposite side of the field with a little bit of help in terms of another receiver on that backside. I think on that backside, that should have been Anthony Catuto. If he's able to work off of a Catuto block and get to the sideline, it's probably a walk-in touchdown. Blake Davis over there as well. So that was a one-on-one situation. If he makes the catch, he's got a blocker and one defender and a chance to go to the house.
Well, this is where Murphy has shined on 3rd down.
Well, they've continued to move the pocket and make it hard to find Grant.
Play action. Grant has time. Deep shot, Payne! A lot of contact, and there's the flag. That was Jaden Jenkins in coverage.
And essentially what happened, the ball was kind of underthrown because Grant was working to his left, trying to make a throw as a right-handed quarterback down the field. Ball's a little bit underthrown. It hangs up there. Jenkins was beat, panicked, was trying to get back in position. And then obviously as Payne went up to get the football, there's contact, and that's your pass interference right there. See, he's panicked. He never turned his head around. He panicked when the football went up because he was beat deep. He's a guy we talked about earlier in the game. He's got to be a guy that stays home on that back end and not allow big plays down the field in this passing game. Now, the positive is it's just a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul, but he didn't give up the touchdown, so that's big.
3rd trip for Murphy in this end of the field. Can they cash in? 2 4th down stops early on. Cam Clent with the rock. And this Tarboro defense is making every yard difficult in the first half.
How about both of these defenses? Just absolute dominant teams. And the question is, right, because between the two of them, we got 10 shutouts on the season. Tarboro has 6, Murphy with 4, and right now both of them looking to add to that total in winning a state championship.
Closing 2 minutes of this first half. Little play action. Grant goes short. That's tipped and intercepted. Carmelo Bullock with the pick.
McDowell Moore, Cameron McDowell Moore, in the middle of that defense, he kind of sits down. He's right in front of Grant. And as Grant tries to release that football, McDowell Moore stops, gets his feet set, gets up off the ground, gets that right hand out there, tips it up in the air, and Bullock makes the pick. You just mentioned it. A big turnover in a spot in this game could be key. Right here, see, McDowell Moore, see, he just sits right down right in front of Grant, reads his eyes and gets that right hand up, and there's Bullock to make the pick. That is well executed defensively by the Tarboro Vikings.
Let's see, ball hawking Tarboro defense, one of the top teams in the state at forcing turnovers. And now 1:44 for the Tarboro T. McDowell Moore gets outside. Oh, he's truck sticked in the hole. Harder than 3 yards there.
He kind of lost his footing, and then the big hit all kind of happened at the same time. But man, how about this football game and the physicality we've seen in this first half?
You're at the 2A level. You're seeing some hard-hitting, old-school football. An inside handoff here goes nowhere. That's Antonio Drawn just back to the line of scrimmage.
And now if you're Coach Watson, you might think about potentially, if you get a big stop here on 3rd down, you might think about taking a timeout and just forcing Tarboro to punt the football.
Look at Watson watching the live plays of his offense, going through the script, saying what worked, what didn't, how do we make adjustments in this 10-game win streak.
Gotta love the iPads and the quick recon that coaches can do now.
3 straight drives for Murphy in Tarboro territory. Nothing to show for it early. And now a 3rd and 7. Now here's a nice hole and a first down for Tarboro. That's Caden Everett stretching it out for almost 12.
And now if you're Tarboro, maybe you think about either, that's right, they're going to go up tempo now because there's an opportunity still to get some points here.
Down to 30 seconds in the half. McDowell Moore, and he's spun down. That's Landon Lappy on the stop.
Yeah, Lappy did a great job recognizing as a late flag comes in, likely potentially going to be maybe a face mask in there because they got him a little high. But a great job by Lappy blowing that play up, staying outside, making sure McDowell Moore couldn't turn the corner off the edge.
Just one penalty for Murphy tonight. Let's see how this goes. That's all holding our breath in the stands here in Hickory. So now good field position for Tarboro.
Yeah, a little pump fake there by the referee.
Would have loved the live shot there of the fans going, wait, it's on us? No, it's on them.
Well,
wait, it's on us?
I think to distinguish here also, they called a 5-yard face mask, not a 15-yarder. So no first down here for Tarboro.
1st and 5. McDowell Moore goes outside. He's putting on every juke display he can. There's another first down and a timeout for Tarboro with 18 seconds. So you're playing the timeout game here. 2 timeouts. The kicking game for Angel Gaetan, his long's 43, so you probably need 10, 15 more yards to give you a chance to end the half.
Yeah, but I think Jeff Craddock is thinking about a touchdown here. I don't think he's playing this for a field goal. I suspect, again, this is a football team that does not throw the ball very often, just 30 times this year. But I will say this about Tyler Powell. 63% completions of those 30 times, 26 yards per completion. So they will attack you deep and hit a big play in the passing game.
A lot of championship history for these programs, Murphy and Tarboro. And you think all time, some of the best coaches in the state, Bob Colvin at Robbinsville, David Gentry, who was the coach and the teacher for Joseph Watson, the 9 titles of Murphy. And here's Jeff Craddock climbing up the ranks. Jimmy Teague just earned his 9th state title today. This was coming into the weekend. A lot of history on this football field, and it's being tested here in this first half.
I tell you what, I learned about and heard about this Tarboro program. I was living in Connecticut in the mid-2000s. A gentleman by the name of Julius Parker told me real quick, hey, you don't know about Tarboro football, but you're going to learn.
Here's a quick timeout after a short gain. So Tarboro burns one of its 2 final timeouts. And, of course, then Todd Gurley put this program on the map.
Absolutely. Todd Gurley and what he was able to do. And look, McDowell Moore is a guy that's essentially been a starter for Coach Craddock for 4 years. That's something Todd Gurley didn't even do. And we know what he became in his NFL career.
Todd Gurley and Tyquan Lewis, who's still in the NFL right now. There's a great lineage of running backs. This Tarboro staff said, hey, when McDowell Moore ends his career in the next couple of days, he's got a chance to be right up among them, among the best in Tarboro history.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at his accomplishments, you're talking about, you know, this year alone, a 2,000-yard season with nearly 30 touchdowns. That is worthy of Hall of Fame consideration in and of itself. You add that to what he's done the previous 3 years, and this young man has put together quite the career.
Those Derrick Henry years are fun to watch as well down in Alabama. 5,000 yards a season.
Yeah, well, Derrick Henry's also a guy, Yulee High School down in Florida, once got the ball nearly 60 times in one football game. That is called leaning on your running game.
Here's a deep shot to end the half, and it's almost caught. Good coverage. That secondary anchor by Grayson Hall forces the incompletion, targeting Far McNair down the field.
That's a great job by Grayson Hall, reading that football, getting up and getting that left hand in there to knock that football away. I can guarantee you one thing. With the way these two offenses can move the football, as you see again there, Hall doing a nice job coming underneath to knock that ball away, and Aiden Williams staying over the top of that route. That's good combo coverage. Got one guy over the top, one guy underneath, and you knock that football away. Well executed. I don't think anybody expected 7 seconds to go in the second quarter. No points on the board.
Some time here. Lewis out of the pocket. Powell keeps going, but time's ticking. And Powell gets forced out. No time left in the half. Tarboro claiming was there 1 second. Murphy's running off the field. And the officials checking the clock. We haven't had a signal yet. Is there any time left in the half?
Yeah, I think that's halftime.
Okay, the officials will end it. That's halftime here in the 2A state title. And it's getting ready to hear from the coaching staffs. We did joke on our call. If there was a tie, they'd do rock, paper, scissors to see who talks first. I don't know if Craddock and Watson had that conversation.
I'm sure both coaches ready to get in the locker room and make some adjustments, that's for sure.
Well, now we'll go down to the Murphy staff with Hannah Brady.
Well, Coach, a huge response by your defense right there. What have you liked out of that group so far?
Yeah, defense is playing great. We like their effort, like they've been playing the whole year. We just got to continue to finish.
Your quarterback, Brady Grant, having success in the air. Just how do you look to continue to extend drives offensively in the second half?
Yeah, Brady's had a good half. We got some opportunities there that we missed a deep one. But he's playing well. Just continue moving the ball on him.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Halftime coming your way next. Scoreless here at Lenoir-Rhyne in Hickory. Don't go anywhere.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
You're watching the Foundation Solutions Halftime Report. Foundation Solutions. It won't cost you to get a quote from us, but it could cost you thousands if you don't. Call today or visit foundationswnc.com.
Hey everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to this state championship high school football game. Joining us today is our good friend all the way from Ingalls Markets, Miss Taylor Newhouse. Taylor, are you loving the game so far?
Absolutely, it's been a fun one to watch.
It has been a fun one to watch. Now, what are you anticipating? An explosive finish, I hope?
We always hope for an explosive finish, but definitely an interesting game.
All right, we got to talk at the end of the game then.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about high school athletics in general. Hey everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to this state championship high school football game. Joining us today is our good friend all the way from Ingalls Markets, Miss Taylor Newhouse. Taylor, are you loving the game so far?
Absolutely. It's been a fun one to watch.
It has been a fun one to watch. Now, what are you anticipating? An explosive finish, I hope?
We always hope for an explosive finish, but definitely an interesting game.
All right, we got to talk at the end of the game then.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about high school athletics in general, because from what I understand, Ingalls Markets, y'all have had a long-standing and robust partnership, not just with our organization, but the entire community as a whole. Let's talk about the dynamics of that partnership.
Absolutely. We kind of gravitate towards athletics because we feel like it's a great way to reach our communities, but we're with these kids all the way from that first day of elementary school all the way through college. So we're really following them, but athletics is a good way to bring it all together because everyone loves a Friday night football game.
They do indeed, including you and I. That's
Absolutely.
Right. So it sounds like you guys really do bridge that link between academics and athletics. Am I correct to assume that?
Yes, definitely. We're there to support children through their entire educational experience.
Speaking of supporting children, y'all have people who come into y'all stores and end up working for y'all, people who you go to church with. I mean, this really is a tight-knit community. Is that right?
Absolutely. Ingalls is a beacon in all of our communities, and we love to get people in and out of the store, especially these kids that are working at our stores, our athletes and students in the schools that we support as well.
That's indeed right. Well, Haley, you know what time it is. It's time to get back to some football.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. We'll see you guys next time on Friday Night Rivals.
So, you gonna play this week?
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 You gonna play this week? You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
You gonna play this week?
This week?
And welcome to the Ingalls Game of the Week as the Warhorses square off against the rival.
He's going in.
He's going in. Go, baby!
Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
You're watching the Foundation Solutions Halftime Report. Foundation Solutions. It won't cost you to get a quote from us, but it could cost you thousands if you don't. Call today or visit foundationswnc.com.
Commissioner Tucker, thank you for your time. Another exciting week with the state championships here.
It is almost unbelievable that here we are getting ready to crown champions in football when it just seems like we just started the season.
This year began the 8 classification system. Why the change? How has it been working? And do you foresee any adjustments for next year?
Well, this is the last of a fall championships where we will crown 8 champions based on the new 8 classification system that our board approved. So far, so good. And for this weekend coming, we have 3 outstanding venues.
There are plenty of familiar names in this year's championship. What do you think makes these programs successful year in and year out?
Well, I think first and foremost, those coaches recognize that what we do is called education-based athletics. And it's about providing teachable moments. It's about teaching young people the core values of sportsmanship, integrity, and honesty. And I believe that those coaches understand how to navigate that kind of balance.
What do you think has been the biggest challenge for the association this year?
Well, I think always a big challenge for us is trying to help everybody understand the role of sportsmanship in what we do. It's been an ongoing theme of trying to keep that front and center of what we do. And of course, as I mentioned, we do have the 8 classifications in this alignment period. And so just trying to secure those venues has been a challenge.
And can you discuss those new venues and kind of some of the highlights of the new opportunities for these athletes to play in?
Well, of course, the mainstay is UNC and Kenan Stadium. They've been a site for us for many, many years. The association grew out of the University of North Carolina, and that's one of the reasons that our office is based in Chapel Hill, and one of the reasons that we continue to hold our football championships here. So they're still on the docket. And then, of course, NC State had some conflicts that we could not work around. So we reached out to some other venues, and Lenoir-Rhyne University said, hey, let's talk. And so their Moretz Stadium has been made available to us. We're excited about being in that part of the state. And Durham County Stadium also stepped to the plate and said, let's talk, let's see what we can do. And so we look forward to that.
And education-based athletics is a policy that's very important to you. How do we keep the balance in today's ever-changing sports climate?
It is about learning how to be a young person, how to grow into that young adult. And if we've done our job, we have those young people poised and ready to be able to go on and make a difference.
Commissioner Tucker, thank you for your time as always, and enjoy championship weekend.
Thank you so much.
The North Carolina High School Athletic Association welcomes you to tonight's game.
We are excited to celebrate the hashtag NCHSAA Game Locked In, which honors everything that makes high school sports special.
Let's continue to create a positive, welcoming environment for everyone. Cheer loudly, support your team, show respect to officials, opponents, and each other.
Let's make tonight's game one to remember, full of pride, positivity, and what it means to be truly locked in.
You're watching the Foundation Solutions Halftime Report. Foundation Solutions. It won't cost you to get a quote from us, but it could cost you thousands if you don't. Call today or visit foundationswnc.com.
Best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Raw, nice cut move, and a hurdle. He's still on his feet. Are you kidding me? Caleb Ron, touchdown. Oh my goodness, what did he just do?
He will roll right, under pressure, still on his feet, trying to find somebody downfield. He's in trouble. He'll throw it to the back of the end zone. The receiver's wide open. Touchdown, McQueen.
Michael Henry got his field goal blocked, caught it, and said, look what I found. Touchdown. In one of the most bizarre football plays you will ever see.
Pressure, throws it downfield to the
middle of the field. What a catch coming up and grabbing the ball.
Oh, my goodness. I had no idea it was one-handed that he grabbed that thing and hauled it in.
Another rush. They're going to throw the screen, and it's intercepted. How about the big fella, Akeem Davis? Davis staying on his feet. Look at him go. Davis.
It's like a scrum.
They can't bring him down. Akeem Davis is still moving. At the 30, at the 25, he snuck out of there. Are you kidding me, Akeem Davis? He is in for the touchdown.
55-yard field goal from the left hash. The kick is up, and it is. It's good at the buzzer. Bryant is the hero for the Buccaneers.
The country, and here in Hickory, North Carolina's the 2A state championships presented by Affordable Dentures and Implants. That score tells the story. Good defensive battle in this 2A title. The numbers are interesting because Murphy has eaten up yards. They've had a lot of opportunities, but just unable to score in the red zone 3 times tonight.
Yeah, they really struggled to finish drives. They've done an excellent job between the 30s, right? Between the 20s, really. But then when it's time to finish drives, unable to get anything going. What I think jumps off the page to me the most, 34 snaps for this Murphy offense to just 18 for Tarboro. You normally see a Tarboro team, if they are less than you in snaps, they've got a bunch of explosive plays. In this game, less snaps and certainly none of the explosive plays that they're used to.
Holding Cameron McDowell-Moore, the all-state rusher, to just 25 yards. So that's a big win if you're Murphy, and yet still scoreless through 24 minutes.
Murphy, I think, has done a tremendous job in this first half. Really both teams for the most part, but Murphy in particular has done an excellent job leveraging the football, keeping everything inside, not allowing the speed of Tarboro to get to the outside and create big plays down the field.
So in these scoreless games, highlights are a little more defensive-minded, but we have seen some explosive runs from Tarboro early.
Yeah, they're able to get some situations where they're able to pop a little bit, but then the gang tackling, and then all of a sudden you get behind the chains, and then Grant has done a really nice job in this first half using his feet in this particular case, but made a couple of nice throws. I like the way they're moving him in terms of the launch point in the quarterback at the quarterback position with Murphy, and that's really allowed their offense to stay consistent, continue to move the ball down the field. Cam Clem had a decent first half as well, 12 carries for 50 yards. But the question is, can they finish and can they avoid this, Murphy? Turnovers. Do not turn the football over. Both teams did a pretty good job protecting the football. Murphy had the one turnover there in the first half.
Yeah, the interception spoiled the scoring drive, and here come the Bulldogs down the tunnel here at Lenoir-Rhyne. Tarboro will follow them in the tunnel. Kind of has that World Cup feel coming out here at Hickory. And Hannah Brady's going to talk to Coach Craddock in just a moment. Some long halftime discussions given this low-scoring first half. Murphy and Tarboro, who've never met as programs. Tarboro the reigning champs. Murphy 1-21 at the 1A level. Their league rivals Robbinsville just lost in the 1A title on Thursday night. And now we have Coach Craddock down with Hannah Brady.
Well, Coach, a defensive first half. What do you do here to adjust in the second half?
Well, we got to get off the field on third down. You know, one of my bigger concerns was only getting the ball a short amount of time. We only had 2 possessions the entire first half. And a lot of times, I mean, they were making plays on 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 9s, and we got to get off the field to give our opportunity a chance to get into a rhythm.
This team's been in this position before. What was your message in the locker room to flip the script here?
Well, we just got to play better second half. I mean, we just need to get some rhythm on offense. You know, to do that, we got to get off the field. So no panic. We've been in tight ball games. We're playing a great team. I knew it was going to be a great game, and that's what we've got. So we just got to play a great second half.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you.
More football here to come at Lenoir-Rhyne in Hickory. A scoreless football game, but a whole lot more action after the break as the second half coming up next.
Tonight's high-end zone views of the game are compliments of Cook Rentals. Now in 5 locations across North Carolina. Cook Rentals, renting the smart way to get things done.
Storms can come up fast, and your roof is your home's first line of defense. Tip Top Roofing is fully licensed, insured, and trusted by homeowners, HOAs, and real estate professionals. From the smallest repairs to the largest residential replacements, we handle it all, including gutters and siding. As a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master, we offer up to 25 years of workmanship coverage and a lifetime materials warranty. Ask about our senior and veteran discounts and schedule your free inspection today at tiptoproofing.net.
Tonight's high-end zone views of the game are compliments of First Source Equipment Rentals and Sales in Mebane and Burlington. First Source Rentals. Reliable, safe equipment rentals in Alamance County.
Second half off and running here in the 2A state championship game. Fun action if you like defense and running the football here in the first 24 minutes, presented by Affordable Dentures and Implants. Kind of one of those games you need a mouth guard. Two heavy-hitting run football teams. We noted Coach Craddock saying, hey, we got to get stops on third down. Tarboro will get the football first to open up this second half.
Well, think about it. Third and fourth downs combined. Murphy, 5 of 10 in the first half. Gotta love those percentages, particularly 4 of 7 on third downs. That is an excellent first half for Coach Watson's group.
Murphy and Tarboro, who've never met, and yet they seem so familiar with these running games. The wing tee and the Tarboro tee. And now this really funky kickoff formation. Okay, it does break out into a traditional kickoff, and now Tarboro scurries. He's waiting for the old Pat McAfee squib kick to start the second half.
And you get it anyway.
And now a short kick that it's not downed and running the wrong way. That's a loss for Roger Feldman Jr., who got caught in no man's land.
Yeah, Brezel, excellent job chasing that thing down. Reads this properly. Watch the speed by the big guy, reading this, figuring it out, and makes a nice tackle up the field. And he knows how big it is to make that kind of a play.
Cameron Brezel, the sack leader in the Smoky Mountain Conference.
Yeah, and the worldwide leader in pregame warm-ups with no shirt on.
Yeah, he's a monster out there.
Yes.
Good frame, 6'3", 220. Impacting this defensive line for Murphy that shut down Tarboro offensively. First play of the second half is Cameron McDowell-Moore, who slips out of a tackle. McDowell-Moore is loose. What a start to the second half. And Tarboro's on the scoreboard. Well, that wasted no time. 70-yard sprint for the touchdown later in North Carolina.
Murphy had it properly leveraged. They just missed a couple of tackles. And that's what it comes down to. This is the type of guy, if you think you're going to get him down with one arm, you can absolutely forget it. Right there, he runs through a couple of tackles, and then it's speed up the sideline, and you're not catching him from behind.
29th score for McDowell. Ooh, that kick had no chance. So a 6-point game, but an explosive run for that man right there.
Yeah, McDowell Moore showing that speed and explosive ability. You see him here working off to the left side, makes a cut backside, and then slips through a couple of tackles. And there you go. It becomes a foot race, and you're not catching him from behind. Big time run by McDowell Moore to kick off this first half for the Vikings.
Both McDowell Moore and Cameron Clem, they're top 5 in 2A football in rushing yards and touchdowns. This mano-a-mano. Clem's had a big first half, but McDowell makes a nice statement. One play, 70 yards.
Well, and that's the thing, if you're Murphy, you were most concerned about. It's one thing to give up touchdowns after 6, 7, 8, 10-play drive. It's another thing to give up an explosive 70-yarder because you missed a couple of tackles. Again, I thought in terms of the call defensively, in terms of alignment and assignment, they were in a good spot. They just didn't finish the play by making tackles there.
And now Joseph Watson has some questions of this officiating staff. Coach Watson in year 5. Longtime assistant, former player at Murphy. And also the golf coach. He was talking about his golf partner, Coach Gentry, the 9-time state champ. They'll play every weekend in the offseason. They're a foursome.
Not sure what that conversation was about.
And Blake Davis, back deep for Murphy. They're checking on something. There's a discipline and the level of organization to this Murphy program. 10 straight wins. They've run through the gauntlet of the Smoky Mountain Conference.
I wonder if maybe he felt like there was a formation type thing there that should have been called to bring that touchdown back. Not quite sure, but nonetheless, the touchdown stays on the board.
Really short kick. That's a live football. Nice recovery. It's a smart play on the kick return.
I can see the attempt to get some added momentum there if you're able to recover that, but you just had an explosive play. Maybe you want to back this offense up and
I'm
see
not
if
sure how much of that was a bad kick.
Absolutely,
or by design.
Absolutely correct, and that's where, you know, we're not totally sure what the decision was there, but you would think maybe you try to back them up there, get a quick 3 and out, and get more points on the board, and really get the momentum going. A little aggressive there, potentially by Coach Craddock, if that's what he was attempting to do.
The Murphy wing T kick starts the second half, and no gain on first down. McDowell Moore off the touchdown with the stop.
Yeah, you wonder if McDowell Moore is just kind of going into take over the game mode, right? We see the big explosive run on the first play. It was a play designed to kind of go to the left. He cuts backside to the right and then finishes it off up the left sideline. Now he makes a play on the first defensive snap here after that. So you wonder if he's kind of looking to potentially try to take this game over on his own.
In a state where Thomas Davis Jr. at Weddington, maybe the best linebacker in the country. There's some good players as well. McDowell Moore really good at getting after the football. And now some backside pursuit. Grant gets out of trouble. And he finds a receiver. There's Anthony Catuto with the catch. And a first down.
Not only you mentioned it, that's the first down. That's the biggest key. Nice job by Grant getting himself out of trouble and then throws a rope to pick up that first down.
Good job moving the chains in the Tatum and Atkinson first down, the heavy hitters.
Again, you see it here. He gets a little pressure off the right side, able to get outside, and then look at this throw on the move to the right. His receiver, Catuto, does an excellent job working back to the football to give him a big target, and he drops it right onto his chest for a first down.
4 completions for Grant, who had just 2 pass attempts last week. They're using him more in the game today. As Clem muscles over defenders, he's down to the 40, eating up 8 yards.
And we just talked about it right on the other side. McDowell Moore broke a couple of tackles. That time, Cam Clem breaks a couple of tackles, gets up the sideline. This is going to be important in this second half. Watch it right here. See, he just runs through a couple of tackles, and then he's able to finish the run falling forward. Both of these defenses have been on the field a long time. Particularly Tarboro, they've been out there for now 36 snaps already in this football game. Cam Clem, maybe in that 215, 220-pound frame, potentially starting to wear some of these defenders down. If that's the case and they start missing tackles, look out for some big runs from him in this second half.
How do you beat an option team? You control the clock and run the football. Clem has it again. And he's knifed down Cameron McDowell Moore. I love that running back matchup, getting after each other.
It's a running back matchup. It's a linebacker matchup. It's a physicality matchup. All of the things involved. You see Clem working to the right side, and McDowell Moore just does an excellent job running the alley and comes and takes those legs out.
Two of our final games of the night. The 5A down in Durham, and this 2A state title. Defensive-minded, running the football battle. 3rd and 1 for Murphy, and Clem has enough to move the chains. Although based on that spot, he didn't get a favorable look. 4th down coming up.
He was certain. It looked like he was going to pick it up, but I say he's just a little bit short. It's about a full yard, though.
Murphy's been aggressive all game running the football. They're 9-time state champs as a program. They're searching for a huge win over Tarboro. 4th down coming up.
This is a big 4th and 1 here.
Clem has it. Clem is short. Great pursuit from Carmelo Bullock, who had the pick earlier. And now a flag comes in.
Yeah, you wonder if this is a late hit or a celebration, but I think Clem might have misread this a little bit. I think there might have been a little bit more space if he had cut that up a little more inside. I think he's able to pick up that 1st down. Instead, try to get to the outside, and that may have cost him a 1st down here.
Now, since that's after the play, I believe it still results in Tarboro football, correct?
Yes, because it's an unsportsmanlike. If it were a personal foul, which was initially the indication or the signal, if it were a personal foul, it would remain Murphy football.
Okay, we'll take the timeout early in this quarter. Big defensive stop for Tarboro. They have the football while we come back to Hickory.
The need for officials has never been greater. Without officials, we don't have this. Make the right call.
Become an NCHSAA official. Visit NCHSAA.org for more details.
Welcome back to Hickory. Affordable Dentures and Implants, player of the game coming up after tonight's game. Use your 2025 benefits to get that smile you deserve. AffordableDentures.com, practice near you. And stay tuned for the Legacy Federal Credit Union play of the game. The Legacy in Wake Forest, we believe. Not to mention tonight's game, we got a lot of friends, including Cook Reynolds in 5 locations across North Carolina. We're in Hickory, North Carolina. First ever trip for the state finals here. 2A championships. Reidsville won the earlier matchup in the 4A. Their 21st state title, and 2 programs that have combined for 19 championships. Murphy and Tarboro. Cameron McDowell Moore, 70-yard touchdown, the difference in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, big spark for this Tarboro offense to start the 3rd quarter. McDowell Moore gives it to him, and obviously right now this offense back on the field looking to make another big play again.
First carry of the drive. McDowell Moore spins out of a tackle. What an explosive start at a halftime. So what's changed offensively here for Tarboro?
Well, I think he's able to start making some guys miss, number one, and then they're able to sustain blocks just a little bit longer And when that starts to happen and McDowell Moore's got a little bit more space and is making guys miss, you got a chance to put up some big-time numbers because he's absolutely explosive.
The 6,000-yard career rusher following the footsteps of Todd Gurley and Tyquan Lewis, 2 NFL studs out of Tarboro. In this third quarter, you're right, it's all McDowell Moore. Nearing 100 yards in the second half. Powell goes keeper, and Tyler gets out of bounds after a nice gain. That ability to pull the football so late, that tests your defense a ton.
Yeah, his ball handling has been really, really good in this football game. He does an excellent job with all the twists and turns, whether it's regular pivots or reverse pivots. Powell does an excellent job with that.
And for more on this running game, here's Hannah Brady.
Yeah, guys, Cameron McDowell Moore, when his team needs a big play, he says he is getting the ball. I asked Coach Craddock about that this week, and he said, I know how Cam can play. I've had him ever since he was 13 years old, starting as a freshman, but this competitive edge is what really sets him apart as an athlete, and his ability to always be able to adjust and adapt, going up to Coach Craddock saying, Coach, if you need me, I'll do it without any hesitation, Evan.
Great point, Hannah. He's been a workhorse in this playoff run. He's begging his hand, say, give me the rock here on third down.
Yeah, Lappy that time makes a nice play up front there to create a minimal gain, and now a third and short situation. Can the Vikings convert and stay on the football field?
Third and short here for Tarboro. Here's McDowell Moore. He's got space and a first down. The physicality of this back two, he's willing to lay a shoulder in there 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, Dante Barber is willing to give him a shoulder right back. He's coming up at the point of attack. Watch 21 come into your picture here on the right-hand side. Bang, right there. Those two guys delivering the blow to one another.
That's a collision on I-40.
Absolutely.
A few miles away here outside of Hickory.
Absolutely.
Two smash-mouth football teams that have lived in the running game. Tarboro has rolled through the playoffs. Murphy's had a couple of tight wins. And now one-score game midway through the third quarter. Here's a toss. This is Caden Everett. And Everett in pursuit. Brazell with the stop at a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Brazell. That was, how about Powell, the way he makes that pitch and then gets involved to try to go get a block up the field.
Tarboro in this 24-game win streak. They have dominated opponents. Last year winning the 1A title. This year fighting their way through the 2A bracket. And now some movement before the snap. And that's Michael Edwards moving fast.
And Powell's very, very frustrated. Thought they had an opportunity there to get something big.
It negates the first down rush, essentially. And that's the secret to Tarboro. When they're playing these 2nd and 5s, 3rd and 2s, very difficult to stop in the run game.
Yeah, very, very difficult. And all of a sudden, you know, they're backed up again, 2nd and long, but guess who's getting the football more likely than not?
Right on cue, McDowell Moore gets that penalty yardage back. And he was not ruled down, so able to carry the sticks for a first.
How did he stay up?
Well, actually, as I say that,
yep, they're going to change the spot here. Yep.
The line judge came in and ruled him short, so 3rd and 3.
These officials doing a nice job getting together there.
So a critical 3rd down for Tarboro, who's controlled the clock here in the second half. Quarterback keeper. And Powell has enough. Good job moving the chains on 3rd down. Forward progress will mark it. And these are the clock-eating drives that Tarboro has dominated opponents the last 2 years.
Absolutely correct. And what happens is they get you with a couple of explosives, and then they start to chew up the clock. And then you get greedy, you start trying to tackle the football, and then they start getting explosives again, and then that number gets out of control. So right now, if you're Murphy, you just got to stay attached, right? You stay focused, continue to execute defensively, and allow your offense to eventually make a play for you.
Fresh set of downs for Tarboro. A lot of movement there, and Everett bounces off one. Half the team just stopped for both clubs. They thought somebody moved, and no flag.
Yeah, that's an interesting scenario.
Yeah, the D-line stopped, the O-line stopped, and the running back just kept going.
Absolutely. That was interesting to say the least. Watch it again. Look at the left side. They just kind of, okay, we're okay. Wait, oh, the play is happening. Oh, we should go.
Gotta love high school football sometimes. You get the best of everything.
Well, and the other part of that is somebody knew maybe they did something they shouldn't have done.
McDowell Moore sneaks in for 3 more yards. 3rd and manageable coming up.
And this is where if you're Tarboro, you can't overthink it, right? You can't get outside of yourself. Just kind of stay patient, continue to execute your offense, and let something pop naturally. You don't have to force it here. I like the patience of Coach Craddock. He's just going to stick with this running game, chew up some clock, and allow his offensive line to potentially take over this game down the stretch. That's what he's challenging them to do. And I guarantee you, Coach Watson is telling his guys on defense, we just got to step up and get off the field.
3rd down. Quarterback keeper here. And a tough decision. Good pursuit by Brazil. And a loss on 3rd down.
How about Brazil? He is really fun to watch at that defensive end spot. Does a nice job setting edges. And then in that particular case, he gets up the field. Watch him get off and get up the field and create havoc back there for Powell, not allowing him to turn the corner. That's really well done.
35 tackles for losses in a 15-game season. This guy's everywhere defensively.
That's unbelievable.
And here's Tarboro bringing out the punt unit from the 30-yard line.
I think he's playing a little bit of field position here, and I like it. You know, you got an explosive play. It's been a defensive ball game. See if you can get Murphy to make another mistake.
Now, can this punt die inside the 5? How about that bounce?
You got to be kidding me.
Incredible field position down near the 1. As we'll step aside here late in the 3rd quarter. Jeff Craddock pulling out the punt unit here late. It's a field position battle in this 2A state championship here in Hickory, North Carolina.
Belief isn't just a feeling, it's a force. A force that turns underdogs into champions, struggle into strength, and concepts into companies. A Legacy and Wake Forest University are proud to partner because we share a truth that belief in people yields the highest returns. Together, we're investing in every dream, every goal, every tomorrow. This is our home. Let's believe.
Welcome back to the North Carolina High School Athletic Association 2A State Championship. Affordable dentures and implants helping us out tonight. This is one of those games where you can get a root canal if you're a fan of offense, because these defenses are getting after it. Physical matchup. Give a lot of credit to Tarboro. A 70-yard touchdown from Cameron McDowell Moore, but that's been it. Now Murphy works from their own 1-yard line.
Yeah, big spot here. This Tarboro defense, I guarantee you, looking for a big play, looking to get in the backfield, get some penetration. If you're Murphy, got to be very careful with your ball handling here. Got to be really smart with the football. I suspect they might try to get something quick up the middle to Michael Brown.
Cam Clem cuts outside. He had to juke quickly to avoid a safety. And just a short gain on 1st down. Now, we have seen some passing success from Murphy, but this is a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to test it too much down here backed up in your own end. I suspect that, especially if you get to a 3rd and 9 situation, I would expect Coach Craddock and Tarboro to maybe try to bring some pressure to force a mistake down here backed up for Murphy.
Brady Grant here on 2nd down, goes back to Clem. Man, this Tarboro defense is all over it. Another short gain. When you're pinned back like this, and for a team that runs the ball as heavily as Murphy does, it's a real difficult task.
It really is, because you want to be really smart with the football. You got to get some of your more quick-hitting things going, because you don't want anything that takes a long time to develop, and you can allow penetration that way and create a negative play. So obviously looking to get something quick-hitting, and now Tarboro defensively sets up a 3rd and long, chance to get off the field here with Murphy backed up deep in their own end.
Brady Grant all by himself. Goes short. That's Clem. Nice play out of the backfield and a first down.
Yeah, it's just a nice job. A little rail route, right? Just run up the sideline, run a rail route, throw it out there to your back. It's a safe throw. If it's incomplete, it's going out of bounds. You let the defender get up the field. You throw it right between the edge player and the inside defender, and it's an easy completion. Clem makes the catch and gets up the sideline.
Tatum and Atkinson first down, and the big sigh of relief for Murphy, who was playing a tough field position game there.
And now if you're Murphy, the conversation is, let's just march the ball down the field, try to finish the drive with a touchdown.
Right back to Clem. Great pursuit from Josiah Dickens on the outside, and now Clem's helmet comes off, which means Clem will have to take off the next play. Can sense the frustration for Clem. He thought there was a face mask. Instead, he has to sit the next play.
Yeah, he's certainly looking for it, and Coach Watson is beside himself if that's humanly possible.
So Clem actually is going to, well, this is interesting. He's allowed to come back in the game, but there's no face mask.
Yeah, normally you have to go out unless it's committed. It's a foul that creates it, but the helmet just gets pulled off.
Part of the reason he's allowed to stay in the game, and Murphy's forced to burn a timeout. With all that discussion about Clem, and lost track of the clock. Keep in mind, 4th quarter, tight game. You'd love to have that 3rd timeout available, but clearly they don't want to play behind the sticks as well.
Yeah, you're 2nd and long in this situation, and for most programs, an obvious passing down. Not the case here with these two teams. I suspect they can, right? Murphy can throw the football here, but they may look to keep it on the ground as well. They've had success throughout this game, and again, really have controlled this game. This will be their 45th snap on offense. You take away the one explosive run by Cameron McDowell-Moore, and this is still a 0-0 ball game.
And that was the opening drive of the second half for Tarboro. A proud Murphy program, 9-time champions. You see one of the Tarboro defenders. He's got some cramps in his calf.
I think that's Josiah Dickens.
I thought that was Reggie Walker after being with me for 12 hours in the press box today. Trying to loosen up a little bit. The DJ has kept us entertained here at Moretz Stadium.
This facility is great. I think this is a home run for the NCHSAA, putting 2 state championship games here at this particular facility here at Lenoir-Rhyne University. One of the traditional powers in Division II football. I think it's all around been a success and a win for the NCHSAA and the programs that have been able to play here.
Yeah, the D2 national semifinals are today as well. There's a lot of football going on this time of year. So out of the timeout, Brady Grant goes to work. Grant rolls out of the pocket. A lot of pressure on Grant, who uses his eyes to create space, and a fumble. Scooped up by Tarboro. And Grant stayed in bounds, so it is Tarboro football. What did we tell you? Tarboro opportunistic. That's their 29th forced turnover.
Grant did everything right on this particular play except for hold on to the football. I would argue maybe he probably should have got out of bounds. I like what he's doing right here. Now go get the yardage. Now get out of bounds. Just step out of bounds. There's no need to take that hit. As a quarterback, you have to remember 2 things. I know this is a primary running team, but even as a quarterback, you have to keep in your mind there's no need to take unnecessary hits. That kind of an unnecessary hit, and it results in a turnover.
Huge field position for Tyler Powell and company. Powell goes to Everett. And a good gain on first down. Making this a 2-score game would be huge for Tarboro right now.
Well, and this is what Tarboro does to you, right? They load up, they make a couple of plays, and then all of a sudden you're backed up in your own end. You're pressing because you're down a score in a low-scoring football game. You try to do maybe a little too much on that particular play. Fumble. If they score here, now you're down 2 scores, and all of a sudden you're looking around and the confidence is shaking a little bit.
They had to adjust the jersey of Cameron McDowell more. Now he's forced to make an equipment change.
Yeah, the back flap was hanging outside of the jersey, and the referee that time says, nope, you got to take that off and get off the field.
And he's bleeding. So there's a lot going on with one of the top running backs in the state. A little turf burn never hurts in the playoffs.
Exactly right.
That run's going nowhere. Look at Brody Orton flying in. Great stop.
And you wonder, as you see now, a Tarboro offensive lineman, I believe, down on the field, but you wonder if maybe they wanted to go to McDowell more there, and he's not out there.
That's Michael Edwards Jr., a bit slow to get up.
This has been a physical, hard-hitting game, and Edwards Jr. now getting attended to.
Just 12 minutes left in this 2A state championship. And Tarboro knocking on the door of a 2-score lead.
Tell you what, 2-score lead in this game might feel like 4 scores, right? Because of the defensive struggle that we've seen throughout this ball game.
Training staff still tending to the offensive lineman, Michael Edwards. Now, you asked this week, Reggie, what lineman does his job at the best level, and Coach Craddock was so high on his senior right tackle.
Yeah, he really was, and he talked about just, look, he said, you know, he's a guy that I don't have to worry about him doing what he's supposed to do every single time he's out there on the field, and if there is maybe a slight mistake, he's the first one to let me know, hey, that's on me, coach, and I'll fix it next time. You got to love the accountability by the player to himself, as opposed to waiting for the coaches to make that correction all the time.
Known as the unsung hero of this offensive line, Edwards exits for the play.
And Evan, this is something that could be interesting here. It's a 3rd and 5 situation. You just lost one of your offensive linemen, but the clock is running. You don't have to snap the football here before the 3rd quarter ends. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Craddock decides not to snap it.
And then you could bring him back in the 4th quarter.
Absolutely correct, if he's healthy. This is a great manipulation of the clock and use and understanding of what's going on by Coach Jeff Craddock.
So we go to the final quarter of this 2A state championship. That man right there, Cameron McDowell Moore, the difference maker. His 70-yard touchdown. That's it offensively. When we come back, the 4th quarter brewing. 1-score game here in Hickory. Plenty of football left in the 2A title.
Robert, go for more.
Hey. Hurt in a car wreck? Don't go up against the insurance company alone. Let the heavy hitters do it for you. Call 800-LAW-0804, and we'll go after all the money they should be paying you. Stay out of the courtroom and get into the end zone.
Call the heavy hitters. We're attorneys Tatum and Atkinson.
Call the heavy hitters. They'll work to get you more. 1-800-LAW-0804.
Have you been quoted for trench drain system to fix water intrusion? Before you compromise your foundation, talk to Foundation Solutions. We provide a more efficient, more cost-effective way to keep your basement dry. With 30 years of experience in Western North Carolina, we bring guaranteed work, financing options, and real peace of mind. Visit foundationswnc.com or call 828-768-2208.
Welcome back to the North Carolina High School Athletic Association 2A title presented by Affordable Dentures and Implants. What a battle. Physical. 3 quarters so far. 1 touchdown from Cameron McDowell-Moore. And now Tarboro, fresh off a turnover, has it in plus territory. Huge 3rd down for Tyler Powell. He feeds McDowell-Moore, who runs into his home quarterback and looks to have enough for the 1st down.
He got right to that marker. It's going to be pretty close, but to your point, I think they're going to move the chains barely. How about McDowell-Moore? Bounces off his own quarterback, gets back up inside. That's another thing. Outside of the one big run, which was really an inside and then a cut to the outside, Murphy has done an excellent job leveraging the football, keeping this Tarboro running game inside.
Back to McDowell-Moore. He breaks one. McDowell-Moore dragging into the end zone. 2 scores for Cameron McDowell-Moore, and the Tarboro Vikings have control in the 4th. There's no stopping Cameron McDowell-Moore tonight. And now Tarboro's going for 2.
That's his 30th touchdown this season rushing the football. Great job that time by McDowell-Moore. Gets up inside and then just shows the power to finish the run and get in the end zone.
That's the strength of this Tarboro team, running the football. And a tight space is leaning on their star. Now to make this a full 2-score game. A toss to Everett. And Everett dives. He does not get in there. That's a good stop for this Murphy defense.
He's got to stretch the football there. If he stretches the ball out, he might have enough length to reach it over and pick up that 2-point conversion. See it again. This is McDowell-Moore on the touchdown run. Watch him get to the 5 and then just continue to drive the legs. Just refuse to go down into the end zone big time to give his team a 2-possession lead.
Final game of McDowell-Moore's career. He's got 95 career touchdowns. We talked about Deontay Neal and Kendra Harrison in our first game. There are a lot of stars in this state. And he says, hey, I need a Gatorade bath. There's been a lot of plays for McDowell-Moore today.
Somebody give me something to sip. There he is.
As Bobby Boucher would say, Gatorade. That man's ready to go. He doesn't need a break. All he needs is a Band-Aid.
Both sides of the ball. I think they just hit the turf burn with a little water there, and you see Coach Craddock understanding that his team, now they've surged ahead here in this 2nd half. Can they finish and pick up another state championship?
This Tarboro defense is locked in. 3 stops on their own end of the field. Angel Gaetan to send this away. McDowell-Moore leading the celebration. He's dancing on the field before kickoff. And now returnable here for Murphy. Nice run out past the 30 for Blake Davis, and that's where this Murphy offense begins. Which begs the question, multiple drives into good field position. How do they manufacture a drive here?
They've been able to do that, right? They've got to continue to mix and match as right now they check on number 80, Javon May, who's down right there at about the 27-yard line. But getting back to the point about Murphy, continue to mix up your offense, run inside, get a little bit outside. Still the passing game, you've been efficient enough there. It's a factor as well. The big thing is just finishing the drive with points. They've done a nice job between the 30s, really between the 20s, moving the football. Just haven't been able to finish those drives.
There's a reason Tarboro's won 24 straight. It is a Valhalla. That's a big key word in this program. Giving them up for each other, self-sacrifice. And this Tarboro team committed to winning. There's an expectation this team makes a state title. 9 straight appearances. And to go back-to-back, I don't care what level it is, so difficult. We see Grimsley do it earlier this week, but credit to Coach Craddock and the staff.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to do. And look, when you win championships, everybody's going to give you their best shot. And you have to deal with it week in and week out. And this Tarboro team this season has done an excellent job of that. 14 straight wins to get to this point. Right now, trying to figure out if they can close it out, get that 15th straight win, finish undefeated and state champions.
Good to see Javon May back on his feet. A state championship weekend where the Western teams have dominated up and down the state. Reidsville, who's geographically right in the middle, the lone East team to win a title so far, along with Wilson Prep. Can Tarboro join them on this final day of the championships? First down, little pump fake for Grant. And a big hit in open space. Nice coverage there for Jalen Farr McNair.
How about Farr McNair? Just drives on that really quickly, showing that speed and makes a play. See him come flying up the field right when this ball is caught, boom. And you know what I like the most about that, Evan? He attacks the outside upfield shoulder to make sure if he does miss, the help is coming inside out and he's not going to let his guy get up the field and make a big play.
Cam Clan runs into a brick wall. That's Emmanuel DeBerry, the junior D lineman, with a stop. And now 3rd and forever coming up.
How about big DeBerry? Great job.
Blueberry, raspberry, DeBerry.
All of them, right? Watch him here in the middle of your screen. He just sheds, lappy, and he's right there where Clem's trying to go. That's an excellent job. Great eyes, good hands to shed and get clear and make a play.
Facing 2 scores, 10 minutes left. This is do or die territory for Murphy.
Yeah, it really is. Likely gonna probably go for it on 4th down.
Grant play action. He's got a nice man. There's Ryan Payne, but no gain. Look at one of the top studs defensively. McDowell Moore with a stop.
Yeah, Payne this time, he makes the catch. And I think his mindset is, if I can make him miss and get back inside, I can get up the sideline and pick up the 1st down. McDowell Moore does a great job running through the middle of the ball carrier and making a clean tackle out in space to set up the 4th down.
So the punt unit comes out. Not only the clock, but a 2-score game. This becomes really tight.
And this is the right decision, right? You're backed up. The last thing you want to do is turn it over on downs this far in your own end.
Dalton Farmer flips the field. And Phelan McNair, a risky return. He gets it out of the 40. And we'll take the timeout. Tarboro 9 minutes away from back-to-back state championships. Some work to do, though, here in Hickory. We'll be right back, concluding the 2A title after this.
Storms can come up fast, and your roof is your home's first line of defense. Tip Top Roofing is fully licensed, insured, and trusted by homeowners, HOAs, and real estate professionals. From the smallest repairs to the largest residential replacements, we handle it all, including gutters and siding. As a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master, we offer up to 25 years of workmanship coverage and a lifetime materials warranty. Ask about our senior and veteran discounts and schedule your free inspection today at tiptoproofing.net.
Tonight's high-end zone views of the game are compliments of Cook Rentals. Now in 5 locations across North Carolina. Cook Rentals, renting the smart way to get things done.
Welcome back to the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. This is the 2A title presented by Affordable Dentures and Implants. Low-scoring defensive battle. Tarboro reigning champs. There's only 5 programs that have gone the perfect 15-0 this year in the state. Tarboro's on the verge over these next 9 minutes. And Super Tarboro fan bringing that flag back. There's a lot of energy in this building for the Vikings. And here's the new flag bearer. McDowell Moore breaking more tackles into Murphy territory. This man's unstoppable in the second half.
Yeah, he has come out in this second half on a mission to finish his college career with a state championship. And you got to feel like after a run like that, if they're able to kind of eat up some clock here, especially if they're able to finish with a touchdown, it'd be very difficult for Murphy to come back in this ballgame.
A program where Hall of Fame legends have taken over. There is a flag. An illegal shift negates that big run. And Coach Craddock's face tells the story right there. He knew that play could put this game on ice.
Yeah, you could see the frustration there, and obviously understanding, you're right, the gravity of the moment in that particular situation. Now, the positive for Tarboro is this. The clock continues to run, and they've still got the football. So they've got an extra snap to chew up some more clock.
Closing 9 minutes of the state title. Caden Everett getting the play in before first down. McDowell Moore goes the exact direction and gets the penalty yardage back. Not even Todd Gurley, a 4-year starter in this Tarboro program, but Cam McDowell Moore has taken over duties. The career numbers are insane. He was great in the title game last year, and he's been the MVP so far today.
A 2,000-yard season with a 12-yard per carry average here as a senior, and looking to finish and cap off that career with another state championship.
Even with that slight injury, something tells me number 2's coming back in at some point. There's a lot of trust in this Tarboro running game. Everett goes inside. And Orton with a nice stop. 3rd and medium coming up. Which, to me, if you're Murphy, this is the game. You have to get these stops on 3rd down.
Right here, absolutely. These particular next 2 downs, you got to get off the field, whether it's, a turnover on downs or forcing a punt on 4th down.
Remember, Murphy burned a timeout in the 3rd quarter to save clock on offense. And there's no 2-minute timeout in the high school game, so you're starting to count minutes here if you're Tarboro.
Tarboro is in no hurry to snap this football. They'll make sure they get it down under 5 on the play clock.
Play clock to 4. Powell finds McDowell Moore. He's pushing that pile. And just keeps churning. How about that? That's enough for the first. Out to midfield.
You got to be kidding me that he found a way to get that first down.
Look where McDowell Moore gets hit here.
I mean, he's 3.5 yards short of the first down and just continues to drive the legs. Gets a little bit of a late push.
Now, did that ball come out? You see the replay there. There's no replay in high school football.
And that's what Coach Watson from Murphy was saying. Hey, that's our football.
If you're going to give him the credit for pushing the pile, then that's a live ball. But it was ruled down at midfield.
Coach Watson making a strong argument there. And
I think he has a good point.
I hear him.
So now 7 minutes left in the 2A title. Great stop from this defensive line. Orton comes flying in. This is where Tarboro can lean on that running game in the second half. 2 big touchdown drives. First half, Murphy had control of this game, but Tarboro's flipped the script.
And right now, more valuable in this game is maintaining possession, not additional points. It's just maintaining possession and really starting to squeeze the opportunity out of this Murphy team to come back in this ballgame.
The proud Murphy program, their first trip back to the state in 4 years. They beat Northside Pinetown in 21. And now McDowell Moore hurdling a defender. He does get taken down by Aiden Williams. Well, there's some athleticism.
Aiden Williams got into his legs and got him up in the air. But the biggest key there, again, McDowell Moore does a nice job holding on to the football.
McDowell Moore continues to get cuts in his arm, has to exit here after this nice run.
He leaves the field, and you see it right there. He just goes airborne, and a little turf burn on this AstroTurf, and I think.
And now the clock starts running. Well, 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. He got sent off, but they stopped the clock essentially as if it was an injury timeout that saved Murphy some time.
Now it's Everett's turn. And Caden Everett hit hard in the hole. 4th down upcoming. But down 2 scores, Murphy can't necessarily burn all their timeouts yet.
No, and right now, see, I like this decision by Coach Craddock. He's going to go ahead and punt it, right? But by the time they punt this football, they should be somewhere under 5 minutes left in this ball game, which is not a ton of time with the way Murphy plays offense, right? You such a run-heavy football team. Gets real tight, trying to get a chance to go down and get some more points here, or some points to begin with.
Closing 5 minutes here in Hickory. And now the snap is tricky. Good job getting that ball away. Broken tackle here. And a late flag. This might negate the return.
It's a block in the back. I think they got Dante Barber.
It's both teams starting to have a conversation. That was Ryan Payne on the return. So that block in the back will back up Murphy. We'll step aside for our final timeout of this fourth quarter. Murphy down 2 scores. This is do or die time in the 2A state title. We'll be right back after this timeout here from Hickory, North Carolina. Welcome back to Hickory, North Carolina. 2-score game. Murphy has the football back here in the 2A state championships presented by Affordable Dentures and Implants. This Tarboro defense, who in the playoffs has only given up 19 points through 4 playoff games. They're going to need that defense in these closing 5 minutes. Murphy following a block in the back penalty. Work way back at their own 7. And now a whistle and a flag here. A false start will pack things up even more.
Clearly not the start you want on this drive here. Again, backed up even further.
And now with 2 timeouts left, you basically have to score in the next 2 or 3 minutes to even have a chance.
I absolutely agree. And that becomes, you know, the math, the arithmetic, if you will, to figure out how to get back in this ball game. You need something explosive here.
It's more like calc trigonometry. Scoring against this Tarboro defense. First and a long way to go for the Bulldogs. Grant rolls out of the pocket. Brady Grant missing his target. That was Ryan Payne near the sticks.
Yeah, and that time, I think if Payne continues to work toward the middle, which he was trying to, and Grant's able to come with him with that throw, plenty of space in this big zone to make a big play, getting over the middle of the field and doing something with your legs afterwards.
The biggest plays for Murphy, they've been through the air, trying to stretch through the secondary of Tarboro, but haven't had enough of those in the second half. Grant 8 of 13 passing, just 68 yards against this stingy Tarboro defense. Now the run game, it's dangerous near the goal line and just gets away from pressure.
Clem did a great job just to get back out to the 4-yard line there. There was not a whole lot of room.
So do you go for it now on 4th down if you're Murphy coming up?
Well, I think, it's tough. You're backed up so far, but you probably have to at this point because punting it back, you may not get the football again.
And you need it twice, down 12 points.
Yeah, you're going to be down under 4 minutes when this is snapped here on 3rd down.
Here's 3rd and 13. Grant facing pressure. Powell after him. Now Grant's right-handed. He flings it downfield and incomplete. That's a really difficult throw. Good coverage from Jaden Jenkins.
Yeah, difficult throw. Again, you mentioned Powell on the chase, Powell on the pursuit. And what do you do here on 4th down?
You're right, from a time standpoint,
you can't punt the football. I mean, if you punt,
have to go for it.
Yeah, you have to. It's just unfortunate you're backed up so far. A punt does you no good.
And not converting this 4th down all but ends the game. So this really is it. 4 minutes left. The Murphy Bulldogs, one of the upstart stories of 2A football. 10 straight wins, and their season's on the line right here. Grant for the ball game. Faces immediate pressure and a safety. There's Donovan Willis, all but securing the state title for Tarboro. And while the safety keeps it a 2-score game, Tarboro gets the ball right back here.
Absolutely, and you get pressure right up the middle again. We've talked about the ability by Tarboro defensively, what they can do. The pressure just comes right up the middle. He's able to beat Lappy into the inside, and Grant has nowhere to go with the football. You see it coming right into your living room, right into your chest. Boom, big time. And that, again, to your point, Evan, that's going to seal a state championship for the Vikings.
These turnovers forced by Tarboro have been huge tonight. Interception in the red zone, big fumble that led to a touchdown, and now this safety is all but clinched a state title.
And you know, Evan, you think about this game, and right now it's 14-0 with Tarboro in the lead. But when you think about this game, I mean, this is a game in which the score is not indicative of what we saw for much of this football game. Cameron McDowell-Moore made a couple of special plays, but this has been a defensive struggle otherwise. Murphy, listen, there's no moral victories in a state championship game, but they did an excellent job. They showed their ability to move the football, just unable to finish.
And with a timeout, how about this Tarboro program ready to celebrate? Hannah Brady has more.
Yeah, guys, you might see the flag guy, but it's actually Sweet Pea the motivator. He started coming to Tarboro games in 1992. He hasn't missed a game since. He's up and down the sidelines, waving his flag, cheering the crowd on, just bringing the Tarboro sidelines to life. Just a huge motivator here as they look to clinch another state championship, guys.
Not just the college game day flag tradition.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, right? Because
since 92, remember that.
So my question to you becomes, who's more important, him or Clipper Darrell? Right? Because Clipper Darrell in sport, he didn't miss Clipper games for a long time. How about that? You got Sweet Pea, and you got Sweet Pea, I should say, and you got Clipper Darrell.
I love those super fans, and Sweet Pea's ready to celebrate a back-to-back title. Yeah, he knows it right there with his guys. Having some fun with Emmanuel DeBerry there.
You've got to love those kinds of people that support these young players in their journeys to continue to try to have success in whatever their sport.
This set stage for the Original Grills kickoff. Elevate your grill game at Original Grills. And now I believe it has to be a punt on an onside kick. I don't know.
You definitely, I don't think you can onside it, number one.
And then there was a late hit there too.
It was a big hit. Try to.
Oh, a delay a game, in fact.
Yeah, that's right. Because a free kick, you have to kick it away. I'm pretty sure on a free kick, you have to kick the ball away.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can onside kick off a safety. You can off a score.
Correct. Zachary Petaway, unfortunately, took a shot.
Our late referee has left his microphone on, so we apologize for that.
I mean, we don't mind the chatter.
Well, I like to hear the ACC when they have the inside access to the referee room. Jerry Bowie, another onside kick. Again, I don't think you're allowed to do this, but we'll get the explanation. You see the argument from Joseph Watson, but yeah, there'll be another delay.
They're calling this a procedure penalty. It must be legal because they keep trying it. So I guess I've misinterpreted the rule here.
Now, I haven't read deep into the book about how many players have to be on one side of the field for a kickoff at the high school level. I know that's more of an NFL and college interpretation.
Well, you've got to declare it now in the NFL. That's a whole different conversation.
So Jerry Bowie, the soccer all-conference player, Let's see how creative he can get here with 4 minutes left.
Well, now they're kicking from the 10-yard line.
These programs practice every nuanced kick they have in the books.
Murphy's really, really good in special teams. So we'll see what they come up with here.
A low squibber, and that time Tarboro takes care of it. And this should all but wrap it up for the Tarboro Vikings.
Yeah, just under 4 minutes. We'll get a heavy dose of this Vikings run game.
And your starter watch coming in. Jaden Jenkins scoops that one up.
He's made a couple of nice plays, had an early pass interference, but's really bounced back throughout this football game. And then McDowell Moore has been huge for his team on the other side of the football.
A Tarboro program that won 3 straight in 17, 18, and 19. A little dynasty building with back-to-back on the verge. And Murphy, such an impressive job, coming off a 9-win season, going all the way to the state finals. And their defense needs a critical stop in the last 4 minutes. McDowell Moore has it. Big hole, McDowell Moore, and the signature touchdown. One of the best running backs in the state makes a statement here in Hickory. This second half has belonged to number 2 on the Tatum and Atkinson touchdown.
And this thing was tied at nothing at halftime. And all of a sudden, we got a 3-possession game with less than 4 minutes to go. That happened quickly.
Tarboro going for 2. That's a statement, pardon me, a tradition here at Tarboro. Quarterback just goes right through the middle of the defense, and now it's 22-0 as Powell sneaks one in.
And they can really feel it now. The Tarboro faithful. How about the second half from Tarboro?
There's a reason this program has championship accolades up and down. 20 combined titles between Murphy and Tarboro. So much tradition, but tonight, this second half, all the Vikings way.
Yeah, McDowell Moore just working off that left side. Got a great block up inside from Far McNair, which, again, you got a back blocking for a back. And he's able to spring his guy to the end zone.
And showing some love with the hearts for his teammates.
There you go. How about the way he's able to end his college career with a trifecta of touchdowns, or high school career, I should say. College career, I'm jumping way ahead.
Yeah, he's got a college career.
Yeah, he's going to have a really nice one. Absolutely.
Tony Trisciani, a happy camper.
Absolutely. Gotta love what he's continuing to build there at Elon. And McDowell Moore, this is quite the exclamation point on his high school career. A trifecta of touchdowns. More T's. Remember we talked about that in the open.
Here's the kick, up 3 scores. Murphy searching for a big special teams play. And a good return here out past the 40. Ooh, and a late hit as well. That'll wrestle down Grayson Hall. And now a flag comes in. This might go on both teams. There's a couple of flags coming in.
I think it was for extracurricular after the play. I thought the play was probably pretty clean.
That's our late official, Drew Bates, who's left his microphone on a couple of times, but here's the return.
See it in here. Contact looks clean right there. Everything's good. I think maybe.
So in fact, this foul is on the return team, not the Tarboro club, so it's on Murphy.
Okay, I was getting ready to say.
And Drew just changed his call, but good news, we're on the same page. We got it all figured out. 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, I didn't see a ton there from Tarboro on that particular play. I thought obviously the tackle was made by Kelvin Jones, but that was to make the tackle. Yeah, it was a hard fall, but that was just to make the tackle there.
Murphy down to their final 4 minutes. More pressure. Grant making something happen. There's a completion. Blake Davis out near midfield past the 40.
It's a nice job there by Grant. Gets out of trouble. Makes a nice throw, and then Grant, the completion there, and then Davis is able to just get out of bounds.
What a proud Murphy program. Just 420 students. And showing a lot of toughness on this playoff run. Dominating Starmount in the finals. Just not enough offense tonight. Grant rolls out. There's immediate pressure. Grant is spun down by guess who? Cameron McDowell-Moore.
He does not miss. That young man is so good tackling in space. He does not miss. Watch the angle he takes. He's just kind of reading the quarterback's eyes, and then look at him close on him right there.
And watch how he sniffs this out.
He's just so good with his eyes, and then a great job closing on the football.
By the way, team high 12 tackles for Cameron McDowell-Moore, along with the 3 rushing touchdowns. Cam Clem back in the game. Clem with a nice run. He'll have enough for the first. The clock not the friend of Murphy here inside of 3 minutes.
That's right, and if you're Tarboro, your mindset is just keep making them line up again. And they're going to get 12 men on the field on Tarboro here.
Murphy's saying that explains all these defensive stops on one hand. On the other, the clock is not working in Murphy's favor here in this fourth quarter. Here's the offensive coordinator and head coach, Joseph Watson. His dad was a longtime coach here, Matt Murphy.
The question is, are you going to get an opportunity to get out there on the course with Coach Watson and hit some golf balls?
So 1st and 5 off the penalty. Grant goes short. There's Ryan Payne. Well, here's some Murphy offense late inside the 30.
I'll tell you, this score is not, again, indicative of what we saw in this ball game, particularly in the first half. Murphy did an excellent job on defense, did a nice job moving the ball between the 20s offensively, just were unable to finish drives. And we'll see here if they can finish one, close one out with some points here down the stretch.
Grant goes inside to Clem. And there is no room against this rush defense. Holding Murphy as a team to just 2 yards a carry. It's been tough sledding. And now a timeout for Murphy to talk things over.
Yeah.
So how about tonight's affordable dentures and implants? Player of the game. Use those benefits now to get the smile you deserve, and not just offensively, defensively. Cameron McDowell-Moore doing it all.
Yeah, number 2 in white was all over the field, making plays defensively. The big touchdown run to start this avalanche in the second half, and all of a sudden, Cameron McDowell-Moore, you look up, 190-plus yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. After a defensive struggle in the first half, he took it upon himself in the second half to will his team to a state championship, and certainly on the verge of it with 2:22 to go.
A quiet 190 yards, if there's such a thing.
Well, it was virtually silent in the first half. It was pretty loud in that third quarter. That big run that kind of started the scoring, you kind of just felt that maybe McDowell-Moore was getting ready to step on it and make something big happen in the second half.
Coach Craddock, no, there's a fine line between cockiness and confidence, and this senior class has been with us since 8th grade. They've been so impressive, winning now 3 state titles, including back-to-back runs here in 2025, and a completion there to Ryan Payne. Right, we noted Reidsville's excellence, 21 state titles. Tarboro right there among the best in the state. Dominated at this small level, the 1A and the 2A this year.
Coach Craddock isn't going anywhere, so I would suggest that neither is this program as long as he's standing on those sidelines.
Jeff, who has 4 kids, including Clay, who just played on the team last year, won a state title, along with Cole, who's a walk-on at Western Carolina. And now 3rd and short coming up for Murphy. Quarterback design. There's a first down. And nice running room here for Brady Grant.
Back to your point on Coach Craddock. This isn't the end for him. They'll get home back to Tarboro pretty late tonight. Then he'll get up tomorrow and turn around and drive, make his way down to Spartanburg, South Carolina, so that he can get ready to coach the Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas All-Star Game next Saturday down at Spartanburg High School. He's got a busy stretch.
Here comes a late flag. We believe Tarboro did not have enough men on the field, or maybe too many.
They were trying to substitute very late.
So Murphy gets into the Air Experts Heating and Cooling Zone red zone. Schedule your tune-up today at airexperts.com.
10-yard line now with 2 minutes to go in this game.
And this will be good for Murphy. So many trips into this red zone, 4 of them. To finally get a touchdown would be important.
Yeah, they really want to be able to have the confidence to know that at least they can finish one of these drives, but unfortunately might be too late for it to matter.
Closing 2 minutes in the 2A state title. Grant goes short. That's tipped. Nice pass rush. Kevius Bridges, one of the senior tight ends and senior linebackers, not able to play the last 3 weeks. So Josiah Dickens has stepped up and been a nice influence on the outside.
Yeah, he really has. Dickens, and you know, obviously they've gotten more out of those guys up front. Powell as well, but Dickens being able to step up and step into a different role. And it speaks to Coach, what Coach Craddock told us is all these guys just go, hey, Coach, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. It's another example.
Grant on 2nd down. Good blitz coming, and there's the quarterback, Tyler Powell, with the sack, forcing a Murphy timeout.
Johnson calls his final timeout, I believe.
Yeah, you were right. And how about Powell? 30 tackles for loss on the year. And let's dive back early in this game. The affordable dentures and implants, or pardon me, the Legacy Federal Credit Union play of the game. Here's McDowell Moore getting loose.
Yeah, this is the play to kind of kick off the scoring and show here in the second half that he was going to be a factor down the stretch. It's a run that was designed to go a little bit to the left, and then he cuts back to the right-hand side and then comes through a tackle, gets back to the left, and then the speed down the left sideline to get in the end zone, 70-yard touchdown. And you just kind of started to feel Mr. McDowell Moore was getting ready to make a statement in this state championship game.
And with the Olympics coming to Los Angeles in 2 years, how about the Usain Bolt celebration sprinting through the line? 3 touchdowns for McDowell Moore tonight.
Got to finish through the tape, young fella.
That's good technique. He's heading down to the Shrine Bowl next week. You noted that, down in Spartanburg.
I'll be there with him.
Heading to Elon in the fall as well. A lot of bright future for this Tarboro senior class.
That is going to be a wealth of talent down there.
Yeah, Grimsley in pursuit of a three-peat next year. Tarboro's 2 minutes away. And then one more title game tonight, the 5A championships.
So one more game for Tyler Powell, Cameron McDowell Moore, and Coach Jeff Craddock will be the Shrine Bowl.
Oh man, time ticking, and Powell puts a final touch on his senior campaign. There's the sack. And this might do it here in the 2A title.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and forever. Again, Grant looking for somebody to be open, and Powell just closes. Grant tries to go the other way, realizes there's another defender there, just nowhere to go with the football.
A signature defensive stand for Tarboro.
It's a 4th and 35 here with 1:09 to go. And now the Tarboro fan base, they are feeling it.
Closing minute here in this 2A title. And a delay of game makes this 4th down even more impossible. Murphy has to get to the 5-yard line to move the chains.
4th and 40.
And not many plays in the playbook for a wing T option team in a moment like this.
Yeah, that playbook gets real small on 4th and 40. And a whole lot of options on the menu, if you will.
Joseph Watson, the golf and football coach. He might have the old grip and ripping mentality here. Let Grant let it fly. Pocket collapsing. Grant gets time. There's a nice catch, but way short of the sticks. Good effort.
McDowell Moore almost ripped that football out.
Yeah, lead to a turnover on downs, and now Tarboro can milk the clock in the closing minute.
I think this is probably the old victory formation here for the Vikings.
How about 7 shutouts this year, including tonight for this Tarboro defense? If you're coordinator Andrew Harding and staff, this unit has won you a state title.
Yeah, it really has. And look, in the first half, the offense struggled for Tarboro, and their defense kept them in the football game. Did they give up some yards? Absolutely. But did they give up any points? The answer is no. And that's what kept them in this ball game, and they're able to finish it out with a victory because that defense continued to stand tall.
The celebrations begin on the Tarboro sideline. Coach Craddock moments away from his 9th state championship. He'll match David Gentry, the legendary Murphy coach, for the 3rd all-time in the state. And now 2 plays away from securing the title. But first a whistle.
And McDowell Moore is getting after his teammates for mistakes here down the stretch.
There's a level of accountability in this Tarboro program that dates back to his championship history. First state title back in 1966. And they're on the verge of back-to-back. 9 straight appearances. It doesn't matter what level you're at, how you do it. Truly remarkable. And for Tarboro, they had the Mount Airy run, losing back-to-back to a talented program. To find that resolve and then to reformat, recalibrate, and really dominate 2A football the last 2 years. It's been a fun story. And this final snap will secure it for the Tarboro Vikings. Impressive run for Murphy on the western side of the state. But too much. The Tarboro T crown them champions again. An 11th state title for this proud Tarboro program and Jeff Craddock's unit. 18 seniors, a lot of tradition. And they come home as back-to-back state champions, this time in the 2A level.
I tell you, I think the most pointed thing I saw throughout this game really happened right here at the end. McDowell Moore, the first guy he went and found was Kevius Bridgers, a guy who's been with him for 4 years, got hurt, unable to play in this game, unable to enjoy it with his teammates on the field. McDowell Moore letting him know, hey man, you're one of my guys.
And the Craddock family sharing some hugs and kisses. It tells you what this Tarboro program's all about. Good exchange at the end of an impressive win for the Tarboro Vikings. 7 shutouts en route to this championship, and a fun first ever matchup between Murphy and Tarboro. Let's dive into those key stats from this one. First half, hard to find offense, but second half, it was all Tarboro on the ground.
Yeah, it really was. They got that running game going in the second half. Again, we talked about it, the explosive run from McDowell Moore, but you look at these numbers, and the interesting thing that doesn't show up, total snaps in this game. Murphy 63 snaps, Tarboro just 42. So comparatively, you would have thought that Murphy's numbers, the total yards, would be a little bit higher. 15 first downs, well executed from that standpoint, but really struggled in the second half, really throughout the game, to finish drives with points.
That's how you get the job done if you're Tarboro. Big running from McDowell Moore, doing some flips. And look at our state champion, putting on a show as well. 3 touchdowns, helping with a turnover defensively. And now he'll be back-to-back state champions. Let's go down to Hannah Brady.
Well, Coach, sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish. How did your team show tremendous grit today?
We didn't panic. We knew it was going to be a tough physical game, so we weren't surprised. I thought we might score in the first half, but I wasn't surprised. It was a very close ball game. 2 physical teams going at it. So we just wanted to exert come out of the gate quick, and we did. We scored on the first play. We finally got a little momentum on our side. Defensively, we dialed in. They just played behind the chains the whole second half, which made it tough on them to get much of anything going.
Cameron McDowell-Moore, 3 rushing touchdowns for you today. Just talk about the impact he had on your offense.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's one of the best running backs in the state. I've been saying it for years. I couldn't be more proud of his effort. The offensive line, Coach Babb dialing up the plays. He's just one heck of a football player. And unfortunately, he's played his last game for me, but I'm looking forward to seeing what that young man's going to do at the next level.
18 seniors on this team, 3 straight state championships for those guys. Just how proud are you of that group?
I'm very proud of them. This is what you do it for. These guys have been with me through the good times, through the bad times, and it's I'm happy for them. I'm happy for our community, for our town, that we get to celebrate. It's going to be a long ride home, and it's going to be a happy one.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you so much.
A big win for the Tarboro Vikings here at Lenoir-Rhyne in Hickory for the 2A state championship title. We'll be handing out some hardware right after the break.
Welcome back to the 2A state title game. Look at that celebration. Tarboro Vikings, a loaded senior class. Not only back-to-back titles, but all 4 years making it to this championship game. That takes a ton of effort, grit, resilience, and Coach Craddock talking about that senior class. So proud of this group. There's the injured senior who gets to celebrate in Kevius Bridgers. But overall, a Tarboro program that has not only put the eastern side of the state on the map, but has shown what it takes to win at the low levels of North Carolina football.
Well, listen, they adjust, right? You understand it. You don't have as many bodies to play football. Guys understand they've got to play both sides. They continue to step up and deliver for their coaching staff and their program. And Tarboro, once again, crowned champions. New classification, same result.
Same old Tarboro, you're right. Impressive for their 11th state title. Cameron Brazel, the defensive MVP. He had double-figure tackles for a proud Murphy program tonight. Get back to the state title for the first time in 4 years. And if you're Murphy, not much to hang your hat on. Great season. Really tested Tarboro. Coach Craddock noted there's been a lot of close games in the first half this year, but that Tarboro toughness just too much in the second half. Marion Andrews named the defensive MVP for Tarboro. He had a couple turnovers, some big stops defensively. It was fun, too, watching his teammates get pumped up when his name was called. He's not one of the key stars, but he had a great performance.
Well, and that's what it comes down to, right? You got to step up in big spots in big games, and he was able to do that. So a great moment for him.
Now time to hand out the offensive MVP. Oh, wow, going offensive lineman. Powering the way for this running game. We don't always see this, but nice to talk about this O-line. 280 yards rushing today, including Willis leading the charge.
Yeah, Willis did an excellent job. You saw him several times throughout this game doing an excellent job getting up the field to the second level, making blocks, really helping to spring McDowell more in this running game.
Yeah, look at Powell pointing to his running back saying, that's the MVP, that's the MVP. They know it.
Nobody surprised by that after the performance we saw in this ball game today.
So Cameron McDowell Moore, look at those numbers. A 3-touchdown performance. Just an impressive run here in the state tournament. And the celebration is on for the Tarboro Vikings.
17 carries, 190 yards. Wow. More than 10 yards a carry there.
Wrapping up our day here in Hickory, North Carolina. Reidsville earns its 21st title. Tarboro now 11 state championships. If you want premier programs in the state, you came to a great place for this 2A state championship.
I absolutely agree. This ball game, you know, again, I think folks will see the score 22-0 and think one thing, the score not indicative of what we saw for about 2.5 quarters of this football game.
I want to take a moment to thank all the great folks at the NCHSAA for hosting and sponsoring and making these things happen throughout the state tournament. Some fun sponsors too: Affordable Dentures, Foundation Solutions, Tip Top Roofing, Air Experts, Tatum and Atkinson, Original Grills, Federal Credit Union, Ingalls Market, Cook Rentals. All these sponsors, we go all the way back to August to the Keep Pounding Classic when the season started across the state, all the way to championship weekend here in the closing weeks of December. It was a fun year for the Tarboro Vikings, back-to-back state champs. Murphy put up a great fight in that first half, but too much Tarboro in the second. For Reggie Walker, Hannah Brady, and our great crew all season long, a lot of high school football here in North Carolina. But the North Carolina 2A state championships go to one of the best programs in the state. Tarboro Vikings, champions once again. Evan Budrovich and our great crew, thank you for joining us here from Hickory, North Carolina. Great new destination, but a same old champ. Tarboro takes it 22-0.